The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. On this Thursday, the 24th of April, we're looking at the Dow up 28, the S&P is up 40, but I wanted to just show you this. Here's the E-mini. So I was up at about 5-ish this morning at Eastern time. I usually get up by 6. I'm working, but this was a little earlier. I'm not sure what it was. I'm not sure if it was the market conditions, but I definitely wanted to go through a lot of things because throughout the day yesterday, well, I was out a little bit, but throughout the day and certainly throughout Tuesday's session, I've been looking at the strengthening of certain areas, really important areas. And I just wanted to show this for the moment because it's the same technique. But here's the 10-minute E-mini chart, and you can see from the low that was made at about 5 o'clock, this is the 10-minute. We had been trading throughout the evening, and I had a Chapman wave very high reading in my Trin gauge. That's Richard Arm's index. I just used two numbers, one at the top, one at the bottom. And if it's at the bottom, it says that the Dow should have a weak opening, no matter how high it is the previous day. And if it's at the top, it says that even if there's some weakness, the S&P is going to show some strength overnight. Even if it's just a comeback, by the next day, it should be running, and we've got that. So with that said, this 200-period moving average is like the magnet for about 2 hours. And then all of a sudden, it breaks down, and then it comes back. Well, it went right through that, but a magnet is a magnet, so it needs to come back and retest and say, well, I need to be able to break away. So look how the 9-period moving average crossed positive. Look how it went to the 200-period moving average, and then it just started to move up and up and up. And now we've got it, at the moment, I'm calling it E/B, actually, in the 10-minute chart. But there's a chance that we could have one of those 2-click sessions. I don't know if we can, but so far it's really good. Here's leg D in the 5-minute chart, and we're just breaking to a leg E in the 1-minute chart, and look how it's walking the 9-period moving average. So using that, what I'm saying is, I'm going to go through I want to go through the E-mini. I'll do it at the continuous contract because I've got that going back forever, whereas just the latest contract doesn't go back that far. So for someone who sent me an email overnight, look, this is the low bar cannot be the high bar. So that cannot be A. Let me just expand that a little bit because this is part of Chapman Wave. I know tomorrow's technical Chapman Wave Technical Friday, but I'm doing it today. So you see, this candle, the 120-minute candle at 4 o'clock yesterday, 21st, so it wasn't yesterday, the day before, was slightly lower than the previous bar. But you can't start your wave count to the upside until you've got a higher low. And now you've got the right side saying, okay, now we can start to move higher, and I can start to count the peaks. So that's A, right there at 22. So 22 is 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock at night. At 4 in the morning, on the 22nd, you get peak B. Then you get peak C at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is at 53.39.25. Pulls back, holds it. Look at that, 9-period moving average crosses positive. It crosses the 200-period moving average, but that's glue. So you've got to really push away. So it goes to a peak D right there at 10 in the evening. And then look what happens. You have these two candles. It goes to a higher high. It goes to a high at midnight. It goes to 54.99.75, and then it comes down. What was the magnet line? It's the 200-period moving average, which is actually still declining. So it declines, and then it sort of flattens out, and it hits it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Out of 11 sessions, it hits it 10 times. Is that a magnet or is that a magnet? Now it's pushing away. So this is very important because if there is, we're already halfway into the big thicket of the candle. Yeah. So if at any point in the next, I'd say 54.40 right now. If in the next 10:20 is when the new session starts, as far as I'm concerned, that's when new buyers come in. So at 10:20, if we are touching, it's one thing. But if we break above the 50, there it is, 54.99.75, 55 would be okay. I want 55.12. If we can get to 55.12 anytime between 10:20 and 12:45, give it a good amount of time, that is really going to be a positive, because what it's saying is that in this particular phase, and now I can go back to all the patterns that we're looking at, it's really important that strength keeps coming in right now. We don't want to test the lows of the last couple of sessions. Then I had a question about the 10-minute. Was it 10-minute gold? Yeah, I think it was 10-minute gold. So let's just do that. I don't think I've got it all notated yet. 10-minute gold right there. I'm going to the continuous contract, GC, just because I've got all the data there. Yeah, so this went peak A, peak B, peak C, and your peak D right there. Now it's pulling back, so we're off the highs. We're at up 29 to 33.24, and the high was 33.77. So that was a peak G right there. Oh, that was your question. Yes, correct. I also got a G exactly there. It's just a very steady move to the upside. And one of the reasons why I wanted to keep it as a G is because the 9-period moving average didn't go pink. It didn't go negative. So I would have to say, maybe it's a restart. This is just a continual pattern, alphabetically, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You never get an H. G is where other things can happen, or peak D is where other things can happen. And there it is. So I hope that answers your question. Just let me put this in here, because as I'm talking about it, that doesn't mean to say I've notated. So I'll notate it from the low that was made at about just before 3 o'clock this morning, Eastern time, A, and your time, I guess, midnight, being in California, and there it is. Okay, so we've got our peak D. Now, if I didn't know this, in fact, I stopped following it. I just did in the mental notation, and then I didn't do anything. But if I had, I would have tried to put in an arch formation that said, if I go to peak D, just on a visual basis, that might be too far. But if I go to the trough before C, and then I put in a 1-to-1 measured move to the right side, let's see where that takes me. That could have been a clue that if it took out a certain level from basically a rectangle formation and went under 33.40, then it could retest this low right here. What was the low? 33.29.50. Let me put that in there, and let's see where we are. Now we'll scroll to the right and see. And then I usually put in Chapman wave diagonal right there. Now I can't do that at this point because you'll see where it's going to go. But diagonal, it's called support target line. And let's see what happened. All right, so that would have been to there. All right, well, that was just way off because we've got the much earlier. All right, so this is that was the gold chart, the 10-minute chart. I'll be right back. We've got a lot to discuss. I just took a moment here because I had a couple of questions. And, good, reminded me. Pattern of Dem, but it's a different Jason. I got a question from a Jason right now. M. White.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
So, a couple of questions. So let me just go right through them. No, I can't do that because I haven't finished the indices. Okay, let me just do this and then I can go to all the questions. So the Dow 9-period moving average is still way under the 14s. It's a work in progress. It's going to take a little while. But the weekly chart, having pushed off the 9-period moving average is important. And on a monthly basis, this candle that we're looking at, Wednesday's close is going to be so important in terms of the analysis of this candle, because if this big red bar, the body of the candle, is much higher, that's going to be a big deal. And if it's much lower, that is a big deal. All right. So the Dow is up 65 at 39,672. The S&P, didn't I do this? S&P right now is up 42 at 54.19. A little bit better chart pattern. There's the lowercase h, they're going to a lowercase m, but the depth of the move of the arch is so much higher than the 5,062.25 low of the 7th of April that this is so far, sees the 9-period moving average crossing positive a lot sooner than the Dow. Let's go to the QQQ. The Q's up 7 at 461.72. Hasn't taken out yesterday's high, but if it does, that'll be really important. IWM, the Russell 2000, trading up 134 at 191.59. Starting to improve. Has it improved enough to say this is really going to be a major buy? I don't know yet. Let's go to the SMHs once again. SMHs semiconductors up 7.24 at 206.15. A lot of work needs to be done. Peak A, peak B, peaks. Yeah, they are the 120-minute chart. Oh, and it's just about to take out this downtrend line, and that's important. So this downtrend line will act as a propellant the higher it goes from here. So if it goes to 212 by tomorrow or Monday, that's going to be really important. Good. I like that. Let's go to, here we go. Gold. Gold is only up 27. I shouldn't say only. It's up 27 At least it's up. It hasn't gone straight down in that Eiffel Tower straight up, straight down pattern that I always talk about. It is up 27 to 33.21, digesting gains, but we have to look at silver. Silver is down 23 cents at 33.31. There's a lot of talk about silver. I'm reading about silver squeeze. I just got an email. What does it say? I don't even know this person, but it says, where did it go? Let me find it because it had a nice headline. It said, gold price. Nope. Wasn't that? Was it that? Where did it? There it is. Silver tsunami. But I can see a rotation into silver after gold's done so well and holding. If gold starts to pull back sharply, it will probably pull back silver. We didn't have much success with the silver stock. We had a lot of success with the gold, but silver itself, let me go to the SLV. The SLV says, that is a nice move. That's a very nice chart formation. Different to a lot of other things I'm looking at. Oh, I like that. SLV is holding very nicely today. It's only down 25 cents at 30.30. This is the iShares Silver Trust. Now I'm going to go to the GDX because I asked about the GDX. GDX is the pullback was a little deep, and it says, yep, it's digesting gains, but I've still got a leg C, F/C in the weekly chart. I just see this as a digestive phase, but I can tell you this, that if by next week there's any talk of peace anywhere, I think we're going to get the big test of whether gold holds for other reasons or whether gold is so tied to that it starts that the GDX goes under 46. So right now it's at 48.84. To me, that'll be a clue. And if it goes back to 52, it says, this is here for a while, the gold-silver area. Okay, I wanted to go to Bitcoin, BTC. There we go. Bitcoin up yesterday sharply, today down 105 at 93,500. I've got this only as a peak B. If there's no new high today, it's a peak B. Otherwise, it's a leg B if it goes above yesterday's high of 95. And the day's young for this. This is crazy. This is a crazy thing. 95,465. As I say, we're still long our IBIT, which is the iShares for the Bitcoin. I like it very much. It's acting very well. Weekly chart, I'd love to see the 9-period moving average cross positive, but it's going to take a lot more to do that. Probably have to go to 102,000. All right, now what I want you to do is to go to, I had it all written down. Did that. Okay, good. Let's go to bonds, US. Look at that. Bonds are up almost a point at 115. Yeah, it's very good because the TBT keeps pulling back. Look, here's the TBT. And I can only call this as a B, and that's the inverse ultra-short Lehman 20-year Treasury bond ETF. So I'm watching this closely. It's at 35.64, 3.564%. The pattern itself looks like it wants to go higher, but we want to see the TLT rallying strongly so that the yields can go higher. So the bonds need to go higher. Therefore, it'll create the inverse. That's the mirror image where bonds go higher, yields come down. That's kind of what we want to see. So that I would like to see a failure pattern in the daily chart of the ultra-short Lehman 20-year Treasury bond ETF, preferably going to the 200-period moving average of 34.30. All right, did that. Let's go to crude oil. Let's go to crude oil. Where am I typing? I'm typing somewhere, but it's not going there. Okay, try it again. I wonder what happens that it slips off the rails like that. Crude oil is up 35 cents, 62.62, going nowhere. All right, I've done that. I want you to just a quick look at the VIX index. We made a big deal about the VIX index spiraling to the 60.17 level. Oh, it didn't put a date. I think it was the 7th. No, I think it was just before. There you are. It was on the 7th. 60.17 on the 4/7/25. All right. And that was all tariff related. A couple other things, but mostly tariff related. And we're down at 27.19 right now. That's really positive. You know, I really like it. That's why we've got a list of what we want to buy. We just missed by pennies a couple yesterday, but we're there. We've kept our core position, and in some of the ones that we've really liked, And so far, they're doing very nicely. One that I got to admit I completely missed only because I stepped aside that day, and that was DFS, Discover Financial Services, Discover Card. Man, that's a nice chart. Look at that. Up another 5.25 today at 184.19. Now it's going to get close to that test of the 184 level. Will it break out or will it stall? Let's see if the others are doing that. Visa, no, not nearly as close, not anywhere as close as that. MasterCard, nope, I think this is the best one out of the three that I look at. Okay, done that. Here we go. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was a nice defensive stock before. Defense, not defense like Raytheon, but a defensive, like in the area of staples. So Coca-Cola is still doing well. It's down today, 9 cents to 73.22. I do have it because it took out that left side low. Did it? No, that could be an alternate count. A G/C right there. In the meantime, it's a leg D in the weekly, so maybe we're going to see the defensive stock. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Defensive, not defense, but defensive stocks start to pull back. And we could see, and I'll go to them straight after when we get back, and we're going to go to the whole tech sector, because I'm starting to see some I must be out of my mind, right? But I am seeing some positive signs in the tech sector. I'll say it again. I think I'm seeing some positive signs in the tech sector. I'll be right back. Basil Chapman, Dow's up 174.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Yeah, let me just answer this question. Quite a few people have asked, so let me just ask. In the Dan, he says, Basil, do you think we will complete daily counting to GDX? We are at peak B. Thanks. What is your gut feeling? So I forget the gut feeling. I'll tell you what I am looking at. So if you look at the XAU, which is the gold and silver sector index, I mean, I've checked. I should have the notations back from when I already notated it back in 1999. Was it just before 2001 breakout? I remember it was at 44, and I said, oh, I got this bull formation. There should be a move from the sideways bull action. I could get a ruler and move it to the upside, and that could be the breakout. Anyway, it was gold. So this is like a huge cup and a handle. Not one of my favorite patterns, but I'm calling it. So this is the monthly leg E in the gold and silver. There's no question about that as far as I'm concerned. This is a leg D, maybe a peak D by Friday afternoon, because it might not go above the 199, I think, high. It's in leg D in the weekly chart. The technicals are very good. Nothing wrong with the technicals. The daily chart has a sudden spike up, which is that, like I call this sometimes, why did I put a B? That's an A. Yeah, so it should be an A. An F/A in the daily chart, and that just says we could get an Eiffel Tower straight up, straight down move, but if it holds halfway or higher than halfway and then goes to another high, it negates that pattern completely. Okay, but that's the gold and silver index. If you look at the gold itself, and this is the core, because I have to go to the futures contract. The gold continuous contract has gone to a leg D in the monthly, corresponds, right? Leg D in the weekly, all right? And a leg F/B, that was the F/B, in the daily chart. Therefore, I can't extrapolate from that and say that the GDX weekly chart has only gone to a leg C. Look, here's your A right there, and there's your B, and that could be because it didn't take out the low that started the whole previous move that was back in June at the low of about 32.84. This low here was 33.42. So it means that D, I've got to consider that it's still active, even though we've had this huge time and price move and everything, that could be E/B, and an F/C. I only do that to say, what's the alternate count? Am I going to be wrong? Just so that I'm ready. But I don't have any signals here other than the unbalanced volume in the daily chart, in the weekly chart of the GDX pulling back. So I'm going to have to consider that the others have priority, that the GDX, which is the market vectors gold miners, is subsidiary to the actual gold contract itself. And if you go to the GLD is in a leg D. So too many Ds, that has to be the aberration, the GDX. So I'm treating these as priority, and I'm saying that call that F/B, F/B, and now we've got a G/C. It says that in the GLD, there should be an attempt to move high, and that's the reason why we're in the gold. I'm not doing anything with the physical gold. Oh, and there's the other thing, the PHYS, which is what we're in. The physical gold has a G/C, exactly what I was typing a moment ago in the GLD, but I've got a leg D in the weekly chart. So all I can say is that I'm being careful. We've taken little bits off, but I've got the whole core position. We're long. I'm staying long right now. I don't see any reason to get out, but I do see reason to trim. And now I'm looking at the SLV, and I have to concur that looks like a much stronger leg B, even though the stochastic's only at 77% and not 80% or higher. And I'm just going to say, I do see this strength in the silver, not necessarily the silver stocks, but this silver itself acting very nicely. I hope that answers your question, so that I'm not fuzzy about it. I'm saying I still see strength. We've got the letters in the Chapman wave notation that says at D, you've got to be careful. That's where other things can happen. And we've done the precaution, but so far all the technicals are still strong enough to be staying in it. I hope that clarifies it for you. The next question I had was, whatever I skipped. So here we go. MYTE. MYTE, I guess, is a German company that has a Swiss connection or something. Anyway, it's in the Netherlands, it says, NV. Netherlands is the parent company. MYT, Netherlands, parent, NV. It's a fashion, and the fashion is really for, I guess, in Switzerland and Germany. But all I can say is, let's look at the chart. If I had to go to a race, which is the Ferrari, what is it telling us? It's just telling us that very, very rich people, or people who have a lot of discretionary money that buy these Ferraris, got very nervous and got out in the 500s, and it dropped to the 390, just under 400, and now it's trading at 455. So I can't use that as a benchmark. I'm looking at this at MYTE. I'm just going to say that because the 9 period moving today, it didn't yesterday, but it did today, and the day is young, but it is starting to cross positive for the first time since it broke down way back in March when the price was up in the 11s and it's already gone to the 6s, cutting a 40% decline. That's terrible. So now what we're looking at, there's a chance that it starts to move higher. I'd rather say to you, you might already have your foot in the door, but I'd say start your engine. Why? Because today's Thursday. If Wednesday of next week, going into the very beginning of May, the following day, you see this particular stock, MYTE is the symbol, MITE Netherlands, rather than trading under 750, it's at 795 right now. It is actually at 837, I think it was. I have to go to this bar right here. 827, 837, 849. Yeah, it's a bit much. If it gets to the 827 area, but very quickly goes to 835 and then 840s, that's the sign to say it's awake. It's been in the slumber. It hasn't done anything for about 2-3 weeks other than go down and then try to bounce, and then that's the only way I'd look at it. I need strength to buy. I don't want weakness to buy. I hope that helps you. The weekly chart was absolutely, the moment it starts to trade at 840, this weekly chart is going to improve a lot. It still needs the 9 period moving average to cross positive. That might help it. I hope it helps you. Netflix, question about Netflix. So Netflix, all-time high. As we speak, leg D, all-time high, leg E in the monthly. Now, I've gotten to an F in the weekly chart, but you see this low that was made the week of the 17th for Netflix, NFLX, at 83.52, 821.10. Took it out 3 weeks ago. So this has to be considered a brand new leg to the upside, unless it's a continuation pattern. So I need to talk about that as soon as I return. Basil Chapman, Tiger Initials up, now at 270.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
All right, so Netflix is at an all-time high, right now up at 1,078.66, up 29.07. All I can say is that I normally would go like this if there was 3 bars and the leg D was taken out. The peak D was taken out within 3 bars. This is actually 1, 2, 3. This is 4 bars. I don't change. You know, you got a technique. You got a technique. You can't change that. I can't suddenly make that an instant restart. It's not. It has all the characteristics that I look for. So normally, if this was 3 bars, I would just quickly say, okay, there it is. Alternate count E/A, F/B, G/C, and that has to be a D because it's never an H. Therefore, this is brand new A, B, ops, but we just took out by a hair. That starting point, that has to be the end. So that I have no choice unless I start differently and I find from a different way of the technicals to find a low that makes this like an alternate count. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say on a weekly basis, on a limb right here at 10:43 a.m. on the 24th of April, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'll say, I believe from my analysis, using the Chapman technique just about as thoroughly as I can, I have no choice. I can't believe this, that the weekly chart has just gone to a leg A in Netflix, and that technically I have to give a down arrow and a starting arrow, and I never give a starting arrow, but I have no choice if it's a brand new high. So this says Netflix, it doesn't tell you how high it's going to go, but it says over the next 7 or 8 weeks, because it's a 7-way form. I originally called this the 7-way form. At least in the next, let's call it 9 weeks. Let's go to May, June, into sometime in June, maybe July. Netflix should make higher highs to a peak D in the weekly chart, as long as it doesn't take out, look at that fantastic 200-period moving. I've been asked, and I'm really thinking about it, I want to do an all-day session. Now, when I say all day, I used to do really all day. But that is a lot of concentration for people. But I'm trying to set it up in such a way that I hope that we can do something like a Zoom or something, or on Skype or something, where you can actually see one another, we can talk, and I'm going to do it. I haven't decided yet, but I want to do something live so that even like the futures that we're looking at right now, look, I just got a peak E in the 1 minute chart, corresponds to the doji candle E in the 5 minute chart. Think of this as a daily, a weekly, and the 10 minute chart, think of that as a monthly chart. And I haven't got any technicals indicating other than on balance volume saying overbought. But look, this is leading us. I can very quickly put a down arrow in the 1 minute chart, and then we'll see if the support level, automated Chapman wave support level at 54.29 comes in as support. And I would do a live trading session, just as I do it like when we have like now. And then I'll talk about the techniques. So one of the things is the biggest problem I have, Larry does a brilliant job because whatever he's looking at, he can trade. I don't do that. The trading I do is on the E-mini or others, other things. But the futures, I just do the E-mini. And if I'm going to suddenly jump to gold and have positions on, it's just real tough. But to do the analysis, look, I did the analysis. There's your peak D. What happens at a peak D? Other things can happen. Whoosh, gold, we pull back, and now gold's rallying again. Right above that inside wedge target resistance. Now it's a propellant line. So I'd like to do that. So I would do the Chapman wave methodology, but I will have some live trading, but most probably it'll only be the E-mini that we trade. I might even choose anything. I mean, we could go to, look, the SOXS, or we could go to let's go to the SOXL right now, live. So SOXL, that's the 3 times long. And look, peak A, peak B, peak C, is that a C1, C2? That's what we will discuss. What do you do in a situation like this? Do you keep holding? Well, what would keep you holding? And I discuss all the things and how you just use the 200 period moving averages, see if it affected it at all in the 5 minute chart for the 200. Yep, there, look at that. Unbelievable. Look at that fantastic support all the way from noon yesterday, I think it is, all the way to 3:30, and then it broke to the upside today, 4:23. So all these techniques just live so that you can learn them. I prefer that than say, we're going to trade this, we're going to trade that, and then you have to force trades. And it's not educational. I prefer, sometimes I even say to people, I don't want you to trade this, even though it's a fantastic trade. Listen to what I'm saying. It's much more important to learn the technique. There it is. There's your peak E, right? There's your 1 minute chart, down arrow. This is a live, right? So this could have been a session right now. We had a 200 period moving average. We had the 9 period moving average, fantastic. Still in a buy signal, buy mode in the 10 minute chart. Here's, look, it's just about to break the support level. It could be fun. I love that. All right, a couple of questions. Then we go to from what I haven't finished, and then I got the questions that are lined up in the Den and the Tiger YouTube. FLR. Let me just do this one at a time. So Fleur, I've liked forever, but we've never owned it. But it's in the category that I'm starting to look at quite seriously. A leg B, what do you say about it there? Basil, FLR sideways for a couple of weeks. Thoughts, I see this company as a leading prospect to rebuild Ukraine. That's only when finally something happens that the money from here goes very functionally to the Ukraine. But I see it as a different thing. I'm seeing Bulls projects around the world. Do you know that the Burj Dubai, do you know that they're building the world's tallest building? They're going to be ready in 2060. It's miles high. I mean, it's more than the world's tallest building. It is unbelievable. And I'm starting to see in America, they're starting to talk about the highest building in America. So I don't see this as the end of the world here. I'm still in the camp that says we should still go to a period where it's just mania around the world. Everybody's trading stocks and trading this and trading toothbrushes, whatever it is. So that's missing. That's the one thing, part of the puzzle that's missing. And I came to the conclusion yesterday, having spoken to someone, that people who keep saying over and over, tariffs this and tariffs that, and Trump this and Trump that, are the same people that don't talk about other things that are positive. And now I've decided tariffs for Trump is just a means to an end. And if you take it seriously, 200%, it's just his negotiating tool. And that's what is going to be either the upfall or the downfall, no, the uprise or the downfall of this whole thing. So I'm just looking at, I'm looking at the charts, I'm becoming way more positive. I love the action over the last few days. And two positions one we wanted to add to, and one was new. We missed yesterday by pennies, actually, but we missed it. So I don't mind paying up if I see the market going up. I don't want to pay up on a down move. All right, next question came in. Oh, I can look at that in a second. I've got other things lined up. Yep. AQST. I'll do this real quickly as we're going to the break. AQST. Yeah, very nice. A, leg B, but the previous B failed. Yes, it's worth looking at this. Oh, I had it notated once, didn't I? Aquestive Therapeutics, I did.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
A Questive, it was a euro there, right? AQST is 286, trading up 4 cents. So this is what I'm looking at here. So the question you have to ask yourself, why is this different, this rally different to the one before that had the stochastic, the MACD was acting well, the stochastic was acting very well. What's different about this? So look what happened, and I'll give you, this is a clue in Chapman methodology. Look, you know my rule of thumb, if the stochastic is holding above 80%, especially 85%, and you are long, that's what you want to see. That's fantastic. That's great. So what happened is it went to that peak B back in about the 18th or so of March, up in the $3.30 area, and then the stochastic plummeted, and the MACD plummeted, and the 9-period crossed negative. This time, what you want to see today, the 9's crossing positive, you want to see that at the end of the day, and you want to see the stochastic at 62% over the next 3-4 sessions, start to get to 80% and then hold there. The moment it holds there, you've got yourself, this is the epic pen. Yeah, I remember now. We did an anaphyllum. Okay, very good. So all I'm saying is that that's what you need to look for. That will be different to the previous times. So you need that to sustain the move. All right, let's just wrap this up now. I'm going to put this in. Tomorrow's Technical Friday. We'll do a little more about that. We see where the Dow closes up 249. I like this action. In a way, I prefer the S&P right now. The S&P, the Dow's up 250. The S&P is up. So the Dow is up after being down sharply. It's up 6.63%. The S&P is up double, 1.22%. It's even a little bit better chart formation. Look at the QQQ. Slightly better. Let's look at Microsoft, because this has been hammered. Microsoft is a good example of what can happen next week if going into May, we can actually see some of the poor performers in the NASDAQ, the MAG 7, start to break out. And if Microsoft can actually get to 398 to 402 within a week, I'd say that's the first sign that I've